Hello, and welcome to More Intelligent Tomorrow, a wide-ranging exploration of the potential impact of AI on the world around us, as envisioned by the future heroes of the human and machine intelligence revolution. Can AI improve our world around us with augmented reality? Or will it make us slaves to our own need for constant novelty? We'll discuss this and more with Steve Nouri on today's episode. And now, your host, Ben Taylor.
Steve Nouri, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Ben. I'm super excited.
So this is a first for us. So you are calling from the future because it's Thursday here and it's Friday there.
I can tell you that nothing happens tomorrow, not much. It's pretty much the same.
Oh, yeah. You can't give any stock trading tips or anything to change my Thursday?
Yeah, that's after the podcast. I'll give you some tips and tricks. I think if you buy some Slack shares, you will get something back.
I looked at a few of your videos where you've had over 1 million views. What are some of the posts you've done in the past that have really stood out to you in your mind? What are some posts that have surprised you where you've gotten really excited and thought, I can't believe where this is going?
Yeah, that's always with LinkedIn. You cannot predict what's going to happen, right? It's the audience will just surprise you all the time. I can tell you that there are things that I spend a lot of time to pick and choose and write some insights and add my own spin, and then it doesn't get much interaction. And sometimes I just chuck in something funny without any effort, and that goes super crazy viral. So one of them was like some kind of AR dance video where like two people are using some motion sensors, and they're dancing, and two avatars being overlaid, I think later or maybe at the same time live, dancing with the same kind of motions. And that went super crazy viral. I wasn't expecting that at all. It just, I think 4 million views, around 70,000 likes and a lot of comments.
You're obviously a futurist and you're very excited about technology. And I think one of the questions I want to ask that I think will do a service to your followers is you have so many things that you share with technology. Besides AR, what's another technology that you're the most excited about for the future? So if you had to pick one other technology, is there something that's you're geeking out about right now? You want to wake up and you want to work on it. What is that technology that you're the most excited about?
I guess that's a very tough question because I just love all these technologies are pushing forward in different directions, and I can see that each one has some interesting applications that I'm super excited about. I guess the next one is the one that just makes sense to me a lot, and that's AI itself. I think apart from AR, AI is pushing the boundaries, and it's a kind of cliche, but driving the industrial revolutions right now. I'm actually super impressed by the combination of augmented reality and AI, and they're kind of match made in heaven or something like that, because they complement each other a lot. That's a kind of a great interface that you put on any application, and that's AR, and then AI is a kind of engine to make sure that things glue together. So augmented reality cannot work well if there's no computer vision, because then the real world will not actually interact naturally with the virtual world. If you think about it, the perspective, the depth, and everything in the reality needs to be analyzed very, very accurately if you want to make it look realistic.
Yeah, that's a very heavy lift. From the AI perspective, to really nail it, that's an impressive ask that we can't do today on a helmet or especially on glasses.
No. No. That's why a lot of these interesting projects are proof of concepts. And I can see that like they just share a video of somebody having the normal glass that we are using these days as normal glasses, doing all these complex things that AR can do. Like as you walk in the street, it will give you all the information about um, where you are and what is on sales in this shop, and for example, what movie is right now on in the cinema. And as you walk past, you will have you will be bombarded by all these information, um, and that's something interesting and scary, but it's proof of concept because that these kind of normal glasses that we're using, unfortunately, are not capable of all these features. So you need to have a heavy, crazy large, AR glasses on and walk in the street, and people just freak out right now.
Well, maybe the
But
helmet will be in style after the pandemic because they'll be used to wearing masks, face shields. They just need the full helmet.
yeah, I've seen a couple of the POCs of those helmets that's just like huge, and they will cover your head and shoulders, and you feel that you have a little bit of more freedom within the helmet, but then you're actually kind of losing more freedom in general by living in that small box, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't mind becoming a Mandalorian.
Give it a try. I mean, you might like it.
So do you think we'll get to AGI, artificial general intelligence, and do you think we should? Is that something that interests you?
um, I'm definitely interested into any kind of advancement in technology. Um, some of them may be found not very useful to humans, like this AR thing. But I mean, generally positive about any advances, and I think human will find a ways to use them in their in the right way later. And it will take time. That's it. We may get affected in a negative way, but we will find a way to um, legalize things, or ethical frameworks will come to play. And that's how we deal with things. Like, we have lived very long time on this planet. I think it will go on for some time. But what is happening with AGI, I think there are lots of hype around it, and um, I can't see kind of a foreseeable future in very short term that I can understand the AGI as we um, um, define it will be available. I think this is going to be a very, very long term kind of uh, innovation. Although we have heard some people saying that the GPT-3 model is kind of an first step to AGI, and then there are lots of people that talking about a GPT-3 shortcomings, Ian Lacombe, and a lot of other people having their own perspective of this advancement, which was a great step forward.
I agree. It's a great step forward. I also agree with the perspective that it's a long way away from something that's equivalent to us with comprehension.
Yeah, because there are lots of people already talking about AI doesn't exist and there's no AI. Honestly, that's something I get under my post a lot. It's like, we don't have AI. What are you talking about? Like, this terminology shouldn't be used. And I totally understand, because the definition what they have for AI is different. And that's like, imagine if I don't call this mic, I call it like a door, and it's like, this is not mic, because in my word I have another definition for it. And that's the conversation, right? But AGI even from a person that believes that AI does exist today, is long away.
That's ironic that people would be saying AI doesn't exist on an AI-driven social platform. It's like the
Yeah,
monster under the bed. It's
no,
there.
that's right. No, they believe that this thing that we are using right now um, is not AI, and AI should be something super crazy. Some other definitions which I really don't understand, but they have other terminologies for this. Like if you're using machine learning, they might say, "Ah, this is machine learning; it's not AI." And I do understand that some academics have like some concerns that AI and machine learning are not equivalent, and that's fine. I sometimes do use them as equivalent. It's like AI and machine learning, AI or machine learning, just because that's what is realistic right now in industry. Um, I'm not writing a Wikipedia page. It's what I see in the real world.
Well, it depends on who your audience is, right? So if I'm talking to an executive, I'm just going to say AI. The fact that it's deep learning or machine learning or people that get into the weeds, I'm just communicating. So if it
Yeah.
works, it works. So with AGI, there's so many debates. You've got the data scientists, you've got the philosophers, you've got the psychologists, you have people talking about consciousness. What are we even conscious, or are we just very advanced sensory response organisms? And the one of the analogies I really liked is it's more like magic. It's a magic trick. So I could probably convince you that I could go convince my parents that I have AGI. I could do some parlor trick where you would laugh about it and you'd say, it's like GPT-3 on steroids, or it's something where you're like, that's not AGI. Do you think eventually AGI could just be a parlor trick where it's impressive enough, you have empathy for it, just like robots on TV, you have empathy for them, you relate to them, you don't want them to be destroyed. What's the path to AGI that you think is likely to happen if you think of the stepping stones to get there?
Yeah. So that's a tough question because I don't see this current path will get us to AGI. It's not like we add more models, we tune more hyperparameters, and there will be a little bit of more ensembles between these models, and there will be some kind of spin there that just makes it AGI. I don't think it's the path forward to find to um, discover this AGI thing.
So you don't
I
think GPT version 9 will suddenly cross the barrier?
I
It's the
I
wrong
don't
thing.
think so. I think there should be another kind of quantum leap, like some sort of thing that we have seen when like backpropagation started, or like kind of like something similar to GANs. Though it should be something more deeper than um, another iteration, or a little bit more advanced and a little bit more robust, and more data and more tuning and more models in the mix. There's a secret sauce missing here, and that's my understanding. Um I cannot foresee um, any kind of formula out of our current availabilities to make it happen.
I completely agree. And is part of that just not understanding our own minds well enough yet? Because if I gave you a spec, if I said this is how your brain works to the deepest level, you would just go build it. But you don't have a spec. It's kind of this gray, foggy view that is constantly redefined.
100%. That's what we started as a neural networks. We had some understandings of how this brain works. We tried to mimic that. We came up with this phenomenon as a neural network and deep learning. But then we found that that's not actually the case. The brain works another way or differently. But still, that's not something that um, we clearly understand. It is still a gray area, and I do believe that that might be kind of key into um, uh, discovering the new technology that we are going to call AGI.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. I think you and I are very lucky to be alive during this period in time because it's going to be a roller coaster.
100%. That's I don't know if that's the case in every era, because I haven't been when Einstein was driving the physics, and a lot of people might have thought that we're the luckiest people that we're we have the chance to talk to Einstein, or in the Newton time, many people just like we found this gravity thing. It's like a lot of people thought this apple just randomly comes down, and they might felt lucky as well. So I'm not 100% sure if we are like all other generations that felt lucky, but I do definitely believe that I'm certainly in living in a very interesting era, and kind of in the right time, right place, and being involved with AI and data science, which is something I definitely enjoy, and also it's driving a lot of the changes in our um, industry and in society.
Okay. Well, I've really appreciated your time, and I feel like we've hit on a lot of really fun topics. So thanks, Steve Nouri, for being on the podcast. Is there anything else you want to say to our followers? You've got your LinkedIn Professional Masterclass. What are some of the things that our followers should be aware of with the projects you're working on?
So what I'm doing right now, like in general, in a nutshell, I'll try to help my followers to get inspired by interesting projects, and also learn and upskill in data science and AI. So that's in nutshell. Um, and the LinkedIn Masterclass course is a little bit of different thing, an odd kind of project here in the mix. I'm using my own experience, like within like 3 years that I've been working on and interacting with people on LinkedIn. I got to know things, little bits in here and there, tips and tricks that I have learned about LinkedIn that I really want to share with my connections, followers out there. I really want them to understand how they can leverage LinkedIn in the best way possible to get some value out of it. And they might have a lot of questions there. I'm receiving it daily. These questions about how to make a post, how to connect to people, how to present myself better. What is even personal branding? Why should I have a personal brand? I'm a data scientist. Even data scientists need a personal brand, or it is only for digital marketing people? And there are lots of questions, similar questions popping up. So I thought it's a good idea to package these answers and my own journey and insights. It's not generated by LinkedIn, so nobody knows how the LinkedIn algorithm works. Because a lot of people believe that I do have secret understanding and secret kind of playbook that how these recommender systems and LinkedIn algorithm working.
Well, you do because you're a data scientist, so you might think like a data scientist.
So actually, that's true, because I've been using a lot of A/B testing. That's the reality. That's true, and that's what I'm going to share.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being on our podcast.
Thank you very much, man, and I really enjoyed the conversation. Looking forward to meeting you in Sydney, and I can show you how to surf.
We can eat some kangaroo.
Some kangaroo, even better.